literally up with the chickens this morning. Had a light dusting of snow last night, and I'm proud to say that while everybody else was running late, taking their time getting ready this morning, I got out here and shot 4 HDzrI setups. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm excited to edit these because snow HDzrI domes always look great, plenty of light. So exciting stuff, guys. Getting to be familiar. Live from the Deadlands in the snow, making the HDzrIs. Hardly a cloud in the sky, but the clouds that are there are going over my son right now. So I kind of got to wait till it rolls past the clouds. Just let you get a little spot of that. As you see behind me, when you're making HDzrIs, that's the last thing you want to see near the sun. So right now, let's see, this looks like the sun has kind of gone behind. I don't know if you can even see that because it's focused on me, but the sun's gone behind those clouds, and I have to wait until it comes back out to start my cycle of photos that makes the HDzrI pop. So you always want good bright sunlight. You know, you can make HDzrIs with cloudy. I've done it myself. They don't provide a lot of light onto your subject in 3D applications, so you have to overdrive them, and then of course that makes the details of the background look blown out, which is not a great look. But it's you know, it's probably about 30 degrees out here. That's just easy for a guy like me. I don't get cold from stuff like that. So looks like our sun's back, so let's get to it. Lost count of how many setups I got. I got 4 out here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 setups out here, starting over there, and 4 back at home this morning. Man, I got 8 setups. If all those turn out, I call that a series, guys. The snow series. Cold Gardens. I don't know, what do you think? It's very peaceful out here. A lot of dog walkers out here typically, but this morning not so much, because it's probably that 15-degree temperature with the wind chill keeping people away. I have that natural insulation like a polar bear, you know, so it's perfect for me. There's the white buffalo ready to take me to my performance. While I was sitting out there, I was watching this little dog, just how he was kind of out in the yard messing around. He's looking dead at me right now. Hey, buddy. And he's a good boy. He stayed right by his house. He stayed in his yard even though he's at the edge of the road, and just, you know, going around smelling at things and you know, exploring his yard. And there's new smells, and the snow tends to really get a lot of dogs excited. And I was thinking, that's what I am. I'm a dog. I like to go out and just see what's out there, you know, smell the world, so to speak, experience the world. So unfortunately, I think that's a little bit of sad news. I believe that Momma Dog, that you guys have heard me talk about, and that came up on the porch this past week. You know, she's been around for many years, since my kids were really small. She had puppies one year in a really cold snap, and underneath a root of a big tree across the ravine, and we went over and picked them up and made a heated barrel and kept them in there and homed most of them. And I think a couple friends still have those dogs to this day. But anyway, she's you know, she's too smart to be caught, and she barely trusted me, but she would come eat up there, and in cold weather she would come sleep up there on the porch. You know, I keep a heat lamp out there. And last week she came up, and I could tell she was something was up. It had snowed, and on the snow day she's down there in the lower part of the land barking in a funny sort of way that she almost never did. And I think she had had puppies or a puppy, because later that week the puppy was up there with her dead, and I felt so terrible about it. But you know, this is kind of how nature runs its course when a dog is not fixed, and it's just kind of like the neighborhood, pardon my French, bitchin' heat, and you know, is allowed to just get pregnant over and over. I'm no telling how many pups she birthed, because she used to have giant litters, and then it would get down to where she had 4, and this time I think she only had the 1, and she had like an impacted, I guess, nipple or something that had kind of like, I don't know, just gotten a lump on her, and of course I could barely touch her, so I couldn't really get her to take her to the vet or anything, and I did put some medicine in her water on a couple of occasions, but anyway, so last week, you know, I had to go out there, and she was very, very cold and wet, and I could tell this because she didn't run from me and didn't resist being touched, and so I put her in the chair out there where she would get in the chair. I left an old chair out there with a carpet in it for my dog to lay when he's tied out, and then, you know, for her ostensibly because he goes in the kennel inside at night. And anyway, she was in really bad shape, cold and tired, barely would move, so I fed her some special food and got her some bone broth a couple times, and then after a day or so, she seemed like she was doing better. She was up and about, but I think she may have passed away because there's one of her full-grown pups travels with her all the time, but he's less trusting, so he won't come up in the yard or whatever. He'll just kind of sit up on the woods behind the house. And the other day, I heard him barking out there, and I went out there, and it was just him. So I think I know what's happened. I think she's finally passed away, but she had to be 15 years old, at least 15, maybe older, 18, because my daughter, who's 26 now, was just a little kid in her, well, maybe not a little kid, I'm trying to think. She might have been 16 or 17, or maybe 18 when she had those pups across the ravine. But anyway, I digress. Old dog, rough life, but smart enough to stay free. Wouldn't ever let them catch her. And they used to try to bait her with peanut butter, and she was too smart for that. So I thought, wow, it's pretty smart for a dog. Labrador, you know, smart breed of dog. But anyway, I think she may have passed away, and I'm bummed about that. But at the same time, I said to her last week, I said, I thought we had an understanding that you were not going to die on my porch. And I guess we did, because she didn't.